Hello, everyone, and welcome to Rob's Rogues in the Batman universe. And I know what you're going to say, Rob. Rob, you just bought another Mattel DC Multiverse figure. Yes, I did. It's the Arkham Knight set of figures. I'm obsessed with the Arkham video games. I've got my game pre-ordered, and I just really want it to be a June 2015 right now so I can play it. The DC Collectibles figures are not out yet, so Mattel had the first crack at getting the figures out. I found these at Walmart. You can see them at Target and some other retail chains, probably Toys R Us. So they're kind of, at least at Walmart right now. 75th anniversary of Batman and Halloween's around the corner. And something else that Walmart is pairing them with on their displays is the 1966 Batman action figures, since November is going to be the release date of the 66 television series in DVD and Blu-ray form. So, yeah, I did not think I was going to be buying much of the Mattel stuff pretty much anymore, other than the Damien figure that's supposed to come out as one of the final figures for the DC Universe Classics line. But they announced a Robin in this line, a new design for Robin. So I really wanted Robin, and there's a red hood. So I thought, there'd be a couple figures I wouldn't mind picking up and having an Arkham Knight figure. So I'm talking a really long time here to say why I picked up the figure. Yeah, say what you will about the Multiverse. Some of them have been pretty good. Some of them have not been good. $10, not too bad. I'm only probably picking up 3 of the figures. So you'll see as we go on here. But here's a look. Basically the standard Multiverse figures. Again, some of these figures are hit and miss as far as the sculpting and the way the faces look. Mattel does a wonderful job at the preview images, and then some of them really lack on the execution. But we have an artist rendering of Arkham Knight here. This is not from the game. It's just more of a cartoonish drawing. But yeah, I'm fine with that. We've seen plenty of images of the Arkham Knight video game. The other figures from the set, it says, these are really kind of weird why they do this. A DC Comics Scarecrow and DC Comics Red Hood. Don't know why they feel the need to do that. There is the read-up. I've read this a couple times before, so if you want to read that again, you can. There's Two-Face as well. It's another image of the artwork here. Not necessarily from the game, probably just an artist rendering of the Arkham Knight logo. Has the real name Bruce Wayne, occupation vigilante, if I can say that right. Weapon of choice, utility belt. So I thought that was kind of funny. Rather than list all the weapons, you could just say, he's got a big utility belt. And now a Batmobile in the video game. So we'll get this guy to package, and we'll get a better look at the Batman Arkham Knight Batman from the forthcoming video game. We'll be right back. Now, I love pointing these things out in far as the way you package your figures. I get you want to try to put the slit back in here so you can put the cape through, but it makes it a real pain when we go to try and push these figures out. You know, he's molded into up to his ears in here, and I'm afraid I'm going to tear this leatherish type of cape. So I just wanted to show you that. Be careful when you're opening your figures. I'm going to try and find some way to cut into this and rip this section out. You know what the heck, let's just try it on camera. So if I screw it up, you can see me screwed up on camera. I open all my DC Collectibles figures this way. So I'm just trying to not cause any spots to tear. So I'm hoping I can get him out. There he is. So one don't normally show that on here, but it came out fairly decent. Let's just get right into the figure right now rather than set him on the table as I normally would. So the Arkham Knight design, at least for the DC Collectibles, I don't think they're going to get the shoulder pads part right on the costume. From my understanding, you start out the video game in the standard Batman Arkham City costume. Then at some point, you will upgrade your costume into this. As there's a lot of stuff going on, Batman finds the need to armor himself up going against the Arkham Knight. So that's what I've gathered from the literature that I've read from the game. He does have these shoulder pads. They look kind of funny in the DC Collectibles version, that the preview images that they've shown. So I kind of hope they maybe make them a little bit more like the Mattel figure. Can you believe I'm actually saying that sentence? Let's get a little bit more light down here. So hopefully the camera can pick up everything here. Got a little extra light, so there is a lot of metallic, or actually glossy paint, not really metallic, that's making the suit kind of glisten here. The previous Batman that I'll show you in a moment had a plastic cape. So they've came out with the Arkham Knight Batmobile, so now that you have an Arkham Knight Batman, you could put the correct Batman in the correct car, even though you do start on the Arkham City costume to begin with. But, I mean, the detailing is really good on the figure. It's cheap, it's $10. I see people selling these for $30 and $40, which is highway robbery. I want to get the Robin figure. On eBay, I saw him as high as $35. Crazy, crazy, crazy. He's not a $35 figure, people. Chill out. So, the articulation. Head does go in a full 360. The arms would go all the way around. They're on a ball and socket here. They do go all the way around. It's more of a rubber up here, so actually it's not going to hinder him really too much from going around. He can't go completely straight around without getting in the way of the rubber part of the shoulder pads here. Does not turn to bicep. He has a single bend at the elbow and does have a turn at the very teeny tiny wrist. Turns at the waist. T-jointed hips. Legs do not go back at all, almost zero back, just very so slightly. They go forward enough to get in the Batmobile, I would believe. Single bend at the knee, and no boot or foot articulation at all. Tiny little guy. I would have liked them to have been a little bit taller like the Star Wars figures would be. Let's get down here in a more appropriate level for Batman. We'll do a couple size comparisons here. So here's Batman with the other multiverse figures that I have. I do have the 1989 Michael Keaton Batman, but as far as the Arkhamverse goes here is the armored Batman Arkham City version and the Arkham City Mr. Freeze. I think I was kind of complaining earlier that Mr. Freeze is too tall in proportion to Batman. The Arkham's too many Arkhams here. The Arkham Knight Batman is a little bit taller than the City Batman would be, the armored edition of it, but I think he could stand to be just a little bit taller. I don't think Mr. Freeze is supposed to be overall that tall, but he's better than this Batman. But being a fan of the Arkham video game series, I knew I was going to want a couple of these. Robin is a definite pickup that I would hopefully be able to pick him up at some point. And I thought, well, to have a Robin, I would want a Batman. So I picked up a couple of these, and I'll proudly display them on my shelves. They may not be the best figures in the world, but for somebody that's an Arkham fan, I think it's probably something you maybe at least want to go pick up a Batman himself. So today we've been taking a look at the Batman Arkham Knight figure, which is really kind of cool that we do have something from the Arkham Knight out right now, considering that the video game will not be released until June of 2015. June 2nd, I believe, is the release date. So we still have quite a bit of time before more news and announcements come out. So I think just the anticipation of that made me want to pick up a couple of these figures. So, as always, this is Rob for Rob's Rogues and the Batman Universe signing off, saying we will see you guys next time.